everyone. It's nice being back. Now, Gabriella wasn't with me, but me and Abby just came back on Saturday afternoon from babysitting the grands, as you all know. Um, Hope you missed us. Just a tad. Just a tad. Um, it's been kind of shitty here. Like the day we came back, I believe it was the day we came back, we had like snow. We had snow when we were over babysitting. Temperatures got cold and like almost blustery. Um, Today it was weird because there was some snow, I guess, this morning, and then it turned into rain tonight. So it's real shitty tonight. Our current temperature is 39 degrees, but it says it feels like 35. And I think probably 35 is what is going to be our low tonight. Yeah, 35, 36 is what's going to be our low tonight. Now, supposed to improve a little bit tomorrow, Thursday. Friday, we were supposed to have rain again. And then, like, off and on shitty weather up until Thanksgiving. And it looks like we could have, at the rate it's going, maybe we could have a little bit of snow on Thanksgiving. So we don't know. I can't believe next week is Thanksgiving already. That's like unbelievable. Like, where's this year gone? But anybody that's been following me, that knows me very personally or very closely at least, this has been a rough last several months. And I love the holidays. I'm looking forward to them, but at the same time, when this year's over and a new year begins, dear God, please let it be a good one, because I don't think we can get any worse than this year so far. It has really been that bad. So, Linda, we will try to get Eric on here soon. If I have to pull him in by the ears to discuss a topic with us, so we'll get him. We'll get him on. No, Gabriella was planning on being on with me tonight, and actually on Thursday we will be on Real Talk for sure, because we're going to go back to our regular schedule, and Gabriella will be the talker on that one. And I don't want to say yet. I will post tomorrow.
I do so much research on it. I haven't written down anything about it yet.
So she has a couple days yet. What she's researching on, she's already found a shitload, and it is a topic that's pretty popular right now, and that you can find a ton of stuff on. So that'll be Thursday night at 9-ish. I always put 9, but like tonight night, I wanted to make sure she was coming over. I wanted to make sure I had my coffee, had my stuff ready. And I don't think too many people know that we're on live tonight, because right now, Linda, you're the only one that's watching, I think, besides Eric, because I forgot to make an announcement, because I just got so much stuff on my mind, but people can catch it on the replay. So as you guys know, it's not about the audience. It's not about the subscribers, even though if you like us, guys, please subscribe. Tell your friends to tell their friends, tell their friends to tell their friends, and so forth and so on. Come watch us. So with that being said, okay, so let me go. Let me get here and get my stuff that I found. I'm going to be honest with you guys. The topic tonight is the fireman, the legend of Mexico. And the reason why I'm talking about that is, you guys know, I should contact Cactus, because I know she would probably want to be on. Cactus, her friend that they call Buddy, was the one that said he thinks he encountered this fireman, and was the one that had that video, which is interesting. But when you go to do research on it, I researched. I searched YouTube. I did Wikipedia. I did ChatGPT. I did Meta AI. I did every YouTube videos like crazy. I searched, and when you put in the fireman of Mexico, you really don't find anything like firefighters and stuff that come out, or something related to fires, and it's really hard to find anything on the fireman. So we're going to talk about it. Gabriella said she found a little bit. I don't know, guys.
Well, what I found are things that are what the fireman could be, and things that are similar to like the sightings of what people are seeing for this fireman. So that's kind of what I
found some. It's not a lot, but we can still talk about it. You know what? I wonder. I'd like to contact Cactus and tell her we're on.
Oh, this isn't
I don't know if she's even. Well, there's two people. What's that?
This isn't even on.
Can you guys hear me? Are you guys hearing me? Did you hear me? Did you guys have sound before I just pressed that button?
Let me get on real quick. I'm having issues getting on.
Linda, were you able to hear me before I just pressed the button for the sound? I think she did answer me before I asked the same question again. Let me see something too, because I don't know, like, I just want to.
I can hear you fine now.
Okay, but I don't know. I think Linda said she could hear. Just be patient, guys.
Yeah, she said a little bit of echoing before you push the button, so it was because it wasn't connected. We didn't turn it on.
But you heard everything prior to that though, Linda, like the my intro and the weather thing and all that. Did all that come through or no? Because I probably look like an idiot if you guys didn't hear anything I said and my mouth's going like this and you guys are going, what's going on? So yeah, otherwise. Okay, great, Linda, thanks. Okay, so we're gonna start off. Like I said again, there's really not much. I'm kind of disappointed because I was really excited to see what everything was surrounding this, and even Gabriella, she says, "Mom, I'll go home and I'll see what I can find for you, maybe to help you out." And it's just not much, but let's start. Like I'll go here. What I do have. There's a little story right here, and then I'll go in and describe exactly what he is. So the story is the fireman legend of Mexico. They say in a small village in Mexico, there was once a man who mocked God. He laughed at the priest, spat at the church doors, and bragged that hell was only a story to scare children. One hot summer night during the festival, he stumbled through the plaza, drunk and shouting, "If the devil wants me, let him come and get me." The music stopped, the candles went out, and the ground beneath him cracked open with a roar. From the darkness came a figure, a man made of fire, glowing like molten iron, eyes burning with hatred. The villagers screamed as the fiery man reached out a blazing hand and dragged the blasphemer down into the earth. By morning, all that was left was a circle of ash and the smell of sulfur. Now, on quiet nights, travelers still see him, a burning man walking the roads, his footsteps leaving scorched earth behind. If you see him, don't look too long, because once the fireman sees you, he never forgets your face. So that was like the story that I found that kind of described him. Now, here's what else I found. Any questions, Linda? She's impossible control she has. Nobody can tame Gabriella. I think, oh, be squared. Hi. I think more or less she has to tame him. Well, no, he's tame. She was beating him earlier. He'll claim that, and she was hitting him, but playful hitting and poking, and so we have this little inside because it started out when we were going back to school, me and my ex-husband, to get off welfare because we were on welfare at that time, me and my ex-husband. So that's why I don't knock people on welfare because been there, done that, know how it can be through going through hard times. But when we were in the class that we were taking so we could get off of assistance and get back on to the workforce, he was taking truck driving school and I was going back to school to computer learning network. And we would be sitting in class and he'd be teasing me and joking with me, and I kind of just give him a nudge like that. Well, when we split up, it was like the following years when we split up. The one lady that was in the class with us, she ended up dating him, which he did. She must be easy. I'm just going to say that because she was nothing that he was attracted to at all, but apparently he ended up with her for a short time at least. Anyhow, well, I ran into her one day and she accused me of beating him, being a husband beater. And I'm there like, and now mind you, at that time, I probably weighed maybe only 115, 120 pounds, and I'm tiny. And I said, look at the size of me, look at the size of him, plus the fact that he lifts weights. Who's going to be beating who? So it was kind of an inside joke. When I said that to the kids today, Gabriella kind of touched Dylan and he said, see, she hit me. I said, yeah, she's like Mom. She's a wife beater too. I mean, a husband beater too. So back to the bone, Angelina. You really didn't miss much, Angelina. We're talking about the fireman legend of Mexico. Mexico. So we're going to go on with that now. So this is what I found on the actual parts. And like I said, I really wish I could have found more, but it says the fireman legend of Mexico, or Mexico, sometimes called El Hombre de Fuego. Fuego? I hope I said that right. Fuego. Is one of those eerie folk stories that blends Catholic imagery, warnings about sin, and supernatural encounters. There are a few different versions depending on the region, but they all share a chilling theme. A mysterious man engulfed in flames who appears as a warning or punishment. So don't go against your religion or don't mock religion, especially if you're in Mexico, because fireman gonna come get your ass. He's gonna get you. He's gonna get your ass. So now let's go on. This is what I found now. El Hombre de Fuego. Origin. These rumors and stories started in central and northern Mexico, and they said especially in the rural towns, which makes sense. The story is, long ago, a man lived in a small Mexico village. He was cruel, arrogant, and mocked the church, often laughing at the idea of heaven and hell. The locals said he had made a pact with the devil for wealth and power. One night during a festival or while gambling and drinking, he openly cursed God, saying he didn't believe in punishment or damnation. At that moment, the ground beneath him split open and a figure made of fire appeared. Some say the fiery figure dragged him straight to hell. Others say the man himself burst into flames. running through the streets screaming for forgiveness until he vanished, leaving behind the smell of sulfur and scorched earth. Since then, people have claimed to have seen the burning man wandering the roads at night, especially near churches, cemeteries, or old cantinas. He's said to appear as a warning to those who blaspheme or stray too far into sin, which we showed that clip of the guy that was supposed to be seen running down the street, totally in flames. Huh? Well, whatever. Walking, running, who freaking cares? He was there, and he was on fire. He was on fire. He was a fireman, but not the kind that helps people in burning houses. Okay, variations. In some towns, El Hombre de Fuego is said to be a ghostly soul doomed to burn forever, appearing at crossroads asking for prayers. Others say he's the devil himself, testing people's faith. A few versions mix it with the tale of El Charro Negro, the Black Horseman, where the rider's hat catches fire, revealing his true demonic form. Interesting. And just little areas how the variation could change like that much. Now, the cultural meaning, it says, the legend serves as a moral warning, a reminder of faith, respect, and the dangers of arrogance or evil deeds. It's often told to children to keep them from staying out late or disrespecting religious traditions. Bada boom. So, and that literally, guys, I'm sorry, literally, that is all I could find on the fireman of Mexico. Did you find anything else?
So, I
Didn't.
not like that. I couldn't find anything at all about a man engulfed in flames just as a spirit walking down the road of Mexico. I tried everything I could think of, like spirit, man of flames, but then there was a movie that was called like Man of Fire or something like that, and I was like, well, that's not what I was looking for. And then I saw this other one, I don't remember what it was called, but it looked kind of like it, but the thing was, it was described as like an alien thing that actually used like a force on this one guy. I didn't write down that story, but I can find it after finish up all this. But
Kiwi said, but why wandering near churches? Like,
to test people's faith.
Yeah, it had to do with, I'm sure, because of the faith, and it's just, it seems like a lot of it's focused on children misbehaving and stuff, and that do some of the lore, but that kind of doesn't tie in with going beyond faith unless it comes in households where people don't have a faith and they focus on those children. But.
So that's where when I was searching up Fireman of Mexico and Fireman Legend of Mexico and all these, it kept on bringing me to like the fire god of Mexico, and I was like, okay, well, that's not it. And then I thought it was at one point, because one of the articles that I read said that he did in fact die in a fire, and I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. He would probably be engulfed in flames. Well, then I looked it up more and on other sites and everything, and it was like, actually, no, he was executed, but they did torture him with fire on his heels to reveal where hidden Aztec treasure was. And he did not, he failed to do that, so they executed him.
B Squared asked, when did this happen? I don't think I had a time period. I don't think there was a time period on it. Not that I saw. because all the information, it just said Mexico. I don't think there was, I wish I could help you on that one. I mean, that would be interesting to find even how far back the lore went. Was it in that, on that video or in the thing? Yeah, because I don't think they gave a date.
Like I said, the only information I could find pretty much
Let me see if I, let me,
involving a man in flames was the actual god of fire, Aztec god of fire in Mexico, and he was back in like 1528.
oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Let me see.
really, it was a long time ago.
Okay, I just typed in when did this event take place, and it says the fireman legend isn't tied to one exact historical date. It's a folk tale, and like most Mexican legends, it has shifted and changed depending on who tells it. But here's what's known about when people say it happened. The approximate time period, they say most versions place the story in the late 1800s to early 1900s, when rural villages were small and very deeply religious. Cantinas and festivals were major community gatherings. Supernatural cautionary tales were commonly used to teach moral lessons. Some storytellers set it during the Mexican Revolution between 1910 and 1920 because there were many reports of ghostly or demonic encounters during the chaotic wartime. And they're saying why the date isn't precise. It says, like La Llorona or El Charro Negro, the fireman is part of oral tradition. That means different towns claim it happened in their village. The date changes depending on who's telling it, and it's less a historical event and more a warning story passed down through the generations. Because apparently, since it's more of a warning thing, I don't know. Most common storytelling timeline, many years ago, before electricity, when the streets were only lit by candles. That usually places it around 1880 to 1930 in folk tradition.
That's what I'm thinking. It's pretty common for older stories to show up modernized. Looks like a mix between Catholicism and traditional beliefs. Could be.
They made up a little story for me about it. They go, during the Mexican Revolution, they say the legend began during the darkest nights of the revolution, a time when soldiers, rebels, and bandits crossed the countryside like ghosts, and every village lived between fear and survival. In one dusty town, there was a man named Rogue, a drunk, a gambler, and a loudmouth deserter who bragged he wasn't afraid of God, the devil, or death itself. While the fighting raged across the mountains, he spent his nights in the cantina, mocking the priests and cursing heaven. One night, after winning a pile of stolen coins of cards, Rogue stood in the plaza and shouted, "If hell wants me, let it come tonight." The villagers froze, the wind died, even the far-off gunfire fell silent. Then the earth trembled just once, and from the shadows walked a man burning like a torch, flames wrapping his body but never consuming him. His boots sizzled against the ground, leaving black, smoking footprints with every step. The fireman, Rogue, screamed, stumbling back, but the fiery figure reached out a blazing hand and grabbed him by the throat. The soldiers later said they heard his cries echoing across the desert, then suddenly cut off. By morning, all they found was a circle of ash, a melted belt buckle, and tracks burned into the dirt, leading out towards the battlefield. Some revolutionaries swore they saw the fireman wandering the roads at night, searching, hungry for the souls of men who had escaped justice. They said he still walks the old routes, of the revolution, a burning spirit of punishment, a reminder that no matter how chaotic the world becomes, hell never forgets its debts.
Yeah, she found more than I did on the fireman. I searched far and wide, everywhere, top, bottom, left, right, inside out, upside down, everywhere I could look, and the only two things that I can come up with before I actually crossed them out was this one called the Bird, yeah.
The Birdman.
The Birdman. The Burned Man, El Hombre Fumado, I think is how you say that. I don't even remember. I don't even know what I fucking wrote. So, I don't know. Local lore is some areas suggest a story of a person who was believed to be demon possessed and referred to as Burha. Some town folks took it upon themselves to burn this individual, whose gender and date were unknown, leading to a legend of a burned man or spirit. But I read up on that too, and the people who saw this burned man, he wasn't engulfed in flames or had flames wrapping around him.
Burnt.
He was burnt. Like, he was like embers in an ash. He was burnt. Kind of like Freddy Krueger. Then I found this, but this is a festival that they hold in Santa Fe, New Mexico, called the Zozobra Fire Spirit. In Santa Fe, New Mexico, an annual event called the Burning of Zozobra involves a fire spirit character who engulfs the giant old man Gloom Figgy in flames to banish the anxieties and worries of the past year. And then the last thing that I found, because like I said, that was just an event that they hold, like a thing they do every year for good luck for the next year to come. And the mural Man on Fire by Jose Clemente
Like Roberto Clemente that used to be on the Pittsburgh Pirates.
depicts a man wreathed in flames ascending into the roof, a powerful symbol of social struggle and human spirit. But I crossed that all out after I found out that one was a mural, the other one was a burned man, not like on fire or anything. And then the Zozobra was the event that they hold every year. So it was like, okay, well, that's wrong. So I found stories that are similar to what the Fireman of Mexico could be, or like what people could be seeing instead of the Fireman of Mexico. The first one, I'm not saying that name, but I'm going to say the one that because I can't say that one. La
Candeleja,
Candeleja?
I guess.
Or
Candeleja?
La Bolfuego. In Colombian folklore, this is a ghost of a vicious grandmother condemned to wander the world surrounded by flames. That's one of the popular stories, but it's described as a restless soul, often the ghost of a woman who committed wicked acts, who appears as a fiery, flashing lantern to lead travelers astray or cause misfortune. Now, another popular version of the story, because there's two more, was that she was a grandmother whose own wickedness led her grandchildren to become thieves and murderers, and her spirit was condemned to wander in flames as a result. And then the last one was that she was burned alive with her children. And unlike other entities, she is attracted to prayers. So the more that you pray, the more that she comes out.
So yeah, so hers was the track of two prayers, and
It's
the
like
other one was
for
the track.
revenge of what happened to her, I
Wow.
guess. Or since she was
Hmm.
wicked, she doesn't like when people pray. So that was the first one. The second one, well, the last one that I could find, is a weird word too. Sukoyan. Sukoyan.
Sakuyan is how I would say it.
Sukoyan. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say Sakuyan.
Oh yeah, there's a T
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah.
Sukuyent. Sukuyent. I don't know.
Sakuyan.
In Trinidad and Tobago, a Sukuyent is an evil fireball witch spirit that takes on the form of a flame at night. By day, a Sukuyent appears as an ordinary, often elderly woman. At night, she transforms into a ball of fire, a supernatural creature, or a fire spirit.
So they kind of all are really related.
She is like a vampire, I guess. She can fly and feed on the blood of unsuspected victims, leaving blue-black marks on their bodies.
Whoa. Oh, yikes.
And it was weird reading up on her too, because it says that she like sheds her skin, and the way to get rid of her is like salt and rice, and you have to pour it on. You have to find her shed skin in a what was that called? A mortar somewhere, and you have to burn it and put salt and rice and everything else on it
Yuck.
to keep her from
Nasty, nasty.
coming after you.
Yeah, I found some other related stories here now too. So I typed in El Charro Negro, and it says has several similar versions and related legends across Mexico and Latin America. These stories share themes like cursed riders, demonic acts, wandering spirits, dangerous nighttime encounters, and they are El Charro del Terror, and that's the terror horseman of Mexico. And it says a darker, more violent version of El Charro Negro. Witnesses describe a skeletal rider in burned charro clothes, a horse with glowing red eyes, screams echoing behind him. This version doesn't speak. He simply rides past, and anyone who follows him or tries to see where he goes, he disappears. So there's the one. And let's see, El Jeanette Sin Cabeza,
I think
Cabeza,
H is, J
Jeanette,
is H.
Jeanette, El Jeanette Sin Cabeza. I'm probably fucking that up like crazy.
Casa.
And it's the headless horseman of Mexico. Similar but much older, part Spanish plus indigenous legend. Instead of wealthy charro, it's a soldier who lost his head in battle, a horseman cursed for crimes during the colonial era, and he rides fast at night searching for his lost head or a replacement. What's that movie with Nicolas Cage where he's on the motorcycle, where he's always on fire? What is that? Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
Some of these put me in mind of Ghost
I
Rider.
couldn't remember that.
And then there's El Charro del Oro, the golden charro of Mexico, and it's a temptation version. He appears as a handsome charro, rich, wearing gold embroidery, offering fortune money or land. If you accept his gold, it becomes hot coals or human remains when you go home. This version focuses on greed and punishment. Hey, I got some gold coins! Yeah! Go home and there human remains.
This charming young man gave me these.
Oh. Ah. Then the other one's El Diablo Charro, and that's called the Devil Charro of northern Mexico. And it says this version says the Charro isn't a lost soul. He is the devil himself. He appears suddenly in lonely places, offers a ride home, guides travelers off the road into danger, and those who manage to escape say they heard hooves but never saw horse tracks behind them. And another one is El Caballero de la Noche, the Night Rider of Central America, a Central American version with a European twist. A mysterious gentleman on horseback offers to escort women or lonely travelers. He seems kind, but his feet are cloven hooves, and his horse has no shadow. If you notice the hoofs and scream, he vanishes in smoke. Interesting. The other one is El Jinete de la Muerte. And anybody that speaks Spanish, I'm sorry, kill me. Various regions. It says this story is, and it says the skeletal horseman dressed like a nobleman or military officer. He doesn't tempt or speak. He only appears to people who are close to death. A supernatural warning that their time is near. And then there's the El Hombre de Fuego, the fireman. Though he's not a rider, he's similar because he appears to punish blasphemy or evil. He arrives suddenly on lonely roads. He's connected to the devil and damnation. Some towns even mix the legends, saying the Charro Negro's hat catches fire when he reveals his true form.
And then I will tell you the only other one that I found, which, like I said, was weird because it was like an alien. It was a alien creature on fire story. So.
I don't even want to have to pronounce half of these names on here because I know I'm really messing up the pronunciations on all these. That's you. I agree with you. B squared. It does seem to, and all these representing that, like the Grim Reaper without that size. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to find any more without.
That's another thing about the other one that I found. It doesn't have to do with Mexico. It has to do with New England. Or not New England, but England. It's a story in England, but it has to do with a fire demon. So it's called Felixstowe Fire Demon. And it says it was a extraterrestrial sighting that took place in Felixstowe, England on the evening of September 20th, 1965. The group consisted of the driver, which was a 25-year-old man named Jeffrey Maskey, and his passengers Mavis Fortis and Michael Johnson. In what must have been an effort to preserve gas, Maskey pulled over to the curb next to a hedgerow on the isolated tree.
He was saying she's got interference now. Yeah.
Walton Avenue. The youngsters were engaged in lively conversation when Johnson abruptly opened the car door and walked out into the murky night. Fortis and Maskey exchanged perplexed glances as the cohort vanished into Stygian? Stygian? What the fuck? What is that? Blackness.
That's Stygian.
But simply assumed he had gone to use the bathroom in the woods. Just moments after Johnson disappeared, behind the shrubbery skirting the woods was the woods. Maskey and Fortis heard what they can describe as a high-pitched humming sound, and that is when things started to get weird. Fortis grew anxious as the disconcerting sound began overwhelming them, and Maskey leaned out the window to try to ascertain the origin of the annoying noise. It was then that he spied an oval-shaped orange object suspended in the sky over 90 feet above his car. He estimated that the UFO was about 6 feet wide, and both he and Fortis claimed that it was glowing so brightly that it bathed the surrounding countryside in its eerie orange glow. The following day, Johnson recovered his senses, and when his friends came to visit him, he told them of his harrowing encounter with the ostensibly alien entity in the woods next to Walton Avenue. Johnson claimed that when he abruptly got out of the car that night, before he was compelled to do so by an unknown force, which insisted that he go into the woods. Johnson told his friends and the doctors that he was forced to walk into the dark forest, although he was unable to recall exactly how far, where he encountered what he described as a humanoid being with large sloping eyes that were glowing in the darkness. He also claimed that the odd creature was engulfed by orange flames. It was at that point that he blacked out. Johnson swore that he had no memories of what transpired next until he woke up the following morning in a hospital bed. And that is what it looks like.
That's creepy.
That is what he saw.
Yeah, that's creepy. But let's do the debunking on this legend. The guy was drinking.
I wasn't.
The first original version that I read, that he was drunk and he was being like kind of bold and cursing out and being blasphemous against the church and God. And
Okay, that's your story.
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. Let's go back to the original version.
Okay.
Is what I said. And let's do the debunking. He was drinking. Could he have been smoking?
That was
And
a lot of interference.
and caught himself on fire or something, or people, there's a thing like spontaneous combustion. Could he, because if he was drinking and his body temperature would have elevated, could he spontaneously combustion? So I mean, you gotta wonder, like, how did this legend start? Like, you often wonder, though, when you look back at these things, how did these legends start?
The interference was my fault. I put my phone next to the thing.
Bad girl. She bad.
And I needed it to read the story because I didn't write it down.
Is it still bad interference?
I don't think so. It's not showing it.
Because of worst case scenario, well,
Actually,
yeah. I wonder why.
Oh, Mom.
Yeah, check. Is it any better? My phone over here. Shouldn't be my phone because my phone never. Well, that's what I was thinking, Kiwi. Could he have accidentally, like, if he was drinking and he had alcohol, maybe, because when you drink, like drunks, I'll get splattered with alcohol, and maybe smoking a cigarette or whatever, and accidentally caught himself on fire, or maybe there was some kind of a fire or something going on at the cantina or the festival itself, and like that's what I'm wondering. I mean, there has to be some way that the story started,
Nobody knows.
and that's just it. Like, how did this story start? Like, was there actually a real person involved, and something happened, but they just got and so switched the story to this ghostly thing, or because something like that did happen to a person, then they claim they seen this one and he never really existed. Like, it's kind of hard to figure out those things a lot. So
And that's why it's a legend.
that's
Urban
why.
myth.
That is why. So, but we will change the topic now, because does anybody have any questions? Like, we feel bad, especially me. Like, I looked and looked and looked, and there's really not a lot of research that you can find on it.
Psychedelics. They could have been on drugs.
Well, you figure too, Mexico. And some of the things said that it had a lot to do with paranormal and spiritual and stuff like that. Like, they had a lot of belief. I mean, look, in those areas too is where, when I did find the one article where it tied in, well, they said La Llorona, and then some of them tied it in with the chupacabras and everything, and that, not tied it in, but it was another one of the legends that was in the area. And so it's interesting. But you get a lot of these older places like that go way back. They have some real interesting legends. That La Llorona is an interesting legend in itself.
Folktales don't often get written fully.
No, they don't. And they don't. Magic mushrooms.
La Llorona is known as the Weeping Woman. That I was reading up on that.
Yeah, we'll have to do an episode on that. I'm sure a lot of you that's interested in this type of stuff probably already watched the movie, which I didn't mind it. I don't think Tom liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. I'm not going to rate it like out of a 1 to 10. I'm not going to rate it a 10. I'd probably rate it around a maybe 6, 7-ish. So, but we're hard on rating movies. We've said that before. We are very, very, very hard on rating movies. So
magic mushrooms,
peyote,
etc.
Peyote was real big with Indians. The Native Americans loved. They used peyote a lot. So
it's probably why they were so down to earth. They were like spiritual.
And one thing about them is they use every part. If they kill an animal, they use every single part of that animal for something. Not just the skin, not just the meat. They use every part. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of legends, a lot of lore. The movie La Llorona.
I think that was an Indonesian movie.
Okay.
I think it was. I think that was one of our Indonesian films.
We saw that at the drive-in. We saw that at the drive-in down in South Carolina.
What am I thinking of? Well, something.
You was probably thinking that Suzanne or whatever. Were you thinking of Suzanne? No. Oh, you know what? I think there was one. There was one that was on the Indonesian channel that was very, very similar, tied in with the La Llorona. It says La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, is a legendary ghost from Mexico. Let me check the movie though. She's a vengeful ghost.
We have a drive-in. It's a little bit. I mean, it's not our drive-in, but it's a drive-in that we go to every once in a while when we can. When it's not like 50 below zero outside.
I'm checking something, guys. I hate doing this because it says the director of The Curse of La Llorona is Michael Chavez. He made his feature directorial debut with his 2019 horror film.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of La Llorona. What am I thinking of? La. Are we keeping you awake, Gabby?
La Isla Bonita.
No.
So we've been on here for 50 minutes. We told each other tonight, as you guys are, a lot of you are well aware that there's been a lot of bad crap going on lately. So I'm still trying to catch up on sleep. I did get sleep over my daughter's house with the grands, but I love them to death. I do, but they get up first thing in the morning and they will come in. Are you awake? Are you awake? No, you're asleep. And yet they don't care. They'll make sure that you're awake. And then on Saturday, before we come home, my grandson comes up, Grandma, are you awake? Are you awake? And he sees me sleeping and he goes, oh, she's sleeping. And then proceeds to go, Grandma, do I have school today? And I said, honey, if you had school today, we would have told you last night, which we did tell you you didn't have school today. And Abby would have went in and woke up and said, hey, you got to get ready for school. So, but you know, they're a handful, but we had a good time. I did get a chance to get away from home for a little bit, which I think it did help. But some of you guys, you know, what has been going on, especially for the last couple months. And please, guys, you know, I love all of you. And I have to speak out. You guys are amazing, and you reach out to me. But I got to tell you, don't worry too much about me. I'm strong, but I'm also weak, if that makes sense. I'm just getting tired of fighting battles. It's just wearing me out. And when I make a post like on Facebook saying I shouldn't even exist and you know don't contact me, and I'm not going to do something stupid. I promise you, I'm not. When I say something like that, and the girls know, I take off. And there's sometimes that I get so hurt, so depressed, so out of there that I just feel like I could just take off somewhere, go deep in the middle of the woods, and just live there for a while, just until I can get some peace and serenity back in my life and get my mind back in the right frame. But I would never ever do anything stupid. So I love you guys so much for how much you care about me, and you're always offering help. You're always saying, I'm just a phone call away, I'm just a text away. That truly means a lot to me. My girls are amazing. Eric is truly amazing. I mean, I have them, but I just sometimes it's just getting to the point that I almost feel like I'm constantly targeted, and no matter how honest I am and upfront and truthful with people, that I just end up always turning out to be the bad guy in it, and I feel almost like I'm ganged up on, and I really don't have any say in anything, although I speak from my heart, and if I have something to say, I tell you the way it is. I don't bullshit. I don't hide anything. I tell you the way it is. Even if I know it's going to hurt you, but I feel you need to know it, I will tell you. That's just me. But like, it's just, sometimes it just gets so overwhelming that I just feel like, why am I even here? Because I feel like I'm ganged up on a lot. But I like I said, I would never do anything stupid. I would just, I'm a take offer. And usually I don't go too far. But there are times if I had a way just to go in the middle of nowhere for a while, no TV, no internet, no phone, nothing, just me and Mother Nature, I would do it. So, but you guys are truly amazing and you're always reaching out and it truly deep down in my heart really means the world to me. So I got to thank you guys so much for always being there for me. And that's why I said, Linda said 2026 will be up my year. I hope so. I hope so. Oh, but I can't see it getting any worse. So, and I try to think like Thanksgiving's next week. My holiday, my big holiday is Christmas. And the kids know I go nuts. I sing Christmas songs. I decorate. I make the cookies. And, last year we had a phenomenal Christmas. And my family's growing because we got Dylan with us this year. And it's just, I look forward to that. And it's that stuff that keeps me going too. So, but it's nice to be back on here. This format helps me out a lot, and knowing that you guys are all there helps me out. So I appreciate you worrying about me, but you don't need to. Like, if I even thought of something, I can guarantee you my kids would step in and say, "Mom," they'd probably slap me and into sense, saying, "Okay, stop that stupid shit." And they would, so you have nothing to worry about. I'm good. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Be squared. It's just it's it's just been since what? Since Dave and the jail crap went on to current. It's just been like just when things start getting
It's like the whole family issues.
it is. It's just like one thing after another, and
Yeah,
it's
she has to deal with our drama from our lives, whatever's going on with us, and other people's drama, and then that gets brought up to her, and then.
And it's everybody says, Diane, you're strong, you're strong. Yeah, I do believe that I'm a strong woman, but even strong people get broken down. And I always constantly worry about being there for the kids and making sure they're okay because they each have some personal things going on that they're dealing with. And then all the stuff coming back and targeting me. And I feel a lot of times that I'm in a no-win situation because I've got a big heart, and like I said, I'm honest. I tell people how I feel, and I don't want to hurt anybody. But if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I'm going to tell you how I feel and say, hey, this is going to hurt you by me telling you this, but you need to know. And it's just that's how I am. But it always seems like no matter how honest and open I am about everything, I still seem to be targeted. And I feel like I can't do any right at times because in my heart, in my soul, I know I'm a good person and a loving person. But I feel like sometimes I'm targeted because of that, if that makes any sense. Like, I shouldn't be that way because it's obviously not getting me anywhere. I mean, the big thing I got is I know my kids love me so much unconditionally. Last year in particular, I have to say, I'm going to bring up Christmas. We're all opening up our gifts and we try to make sure everybody gets about the same amount. There's like not one person is more special than the other. Because I love all my kids the same. So we try to make sure everybody gets about the same amount of things and about the same amount spent. Maybe one or two might get something a little bit more special if it was something they really, really wanted and we knew they couldn't get it themselves. We might go one step above, but it's not favoritism or anything like that. It's just we know that they needed it. But anyhow, we're sitting there and like we had a shitload of gifts because we got a pretty big family now, especially with Dylan being part of it. So Christmas gifts like crazy, and we're all opening up the gifts, all opening up the gifts, and everybody's gifts are running out. She's down to her last couple, Eric's down to his last couple, Tom got his last couple, and people are still handing me gifts. And I'm sitting there for about another 10 minutes or so after everybody's done opening up their gifts, still opening up gifts that the kids said, Mom, we thought you needed this, so we thought you would like this. That I have a story how I got that. We were at so and so, and we saw this, and we're there. Mom has to have that. So my kids, I know, love me unconditionally, even though we might have moments at times. I don't have any worries about that whatsoever. But again, like I said, with as far as everything else, it just seems like I get targeted. Me and Eric was talking about it this morning and yesterday morning that I said, Eric, am I wrong? Should I change? Should I start not speaking how I feel and stuff? And he says, Mom, don't change. That's who you are. And that's a good thing. You're a good person. You don't change. Don't change who you are from anybody. That'll be their loss somewhere down the line. So these pep talks, a lot of times I get from my children and my friends. You guys have been amazing. Keeps me going. So I don't want to talk because you guys know I know how to do that a lot. But yeah, so that's the gist of everything. And Linda, you said gobble gobble. Don't worry, we're going to be sitting at the table this year, next week, having our big turkey feast.
On Thursday, can we have a preview of the Gobble Gobble song?
Thursday night, even though it will be Thanksgiving next week, we can have a Thanksgiving special if you want. We can play as the Gobble Gobble song. Yes, we can do that.
And if we still have some of the punch left, we're gonna have that.
Yeah, we could possibly be. I don't know because I'm not a drinker and I've never even tried to get drunk. We are going to have a spiked punch that day. So maybe if we do come on, we're not if we can, might be a little bit giddy and a little tipsy, and who knows what next Thanksgiving will bring. So, but we will play the Gobble Gobble song for all you. So. We're going to specially play it on Thanksgiving at our meal because Tom doesn't like that song. So we're going to say, Dad, this is for you. And they're going to play the song, and he's going to go, oh, shit.
Eggnog is for Christmas.
Yeah, eggnog is Christmas.
And you have to find the right kind.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't make it right, and it tastes weird.
Oh, Eric, is Gallagher's eggnog good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
I think that's the best
Yeah.
one that he
And
bought
we're back
before.
here now, so we can get it because when we were down South Carolina, you couldn't get it. So, but yes, I
They did
don't.
have like Turkey Hill though in South Carolina, and that was terrible.
Turkey Hill's good. I
It
do
wasn't
like it.
terrible,
Even their
but
ice cream.
It's okay.
But after Thanksgiving too, since there won't be a couple days left of the month, I will start scheduling things for December, and hopefully keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get through all of December with our scheduled shows without any interruptions. So just everybody keep your fingers crossed, and thank you for joining in tonight. I know it was very, very, very short notice. I was actually even contemplating not going because I don't know if you've seen me winking a lot again tonight. My left eye.
I've been having issues with mine too, but I think
Yeah.
there's a hair
That's what
or
I
like
think that there is something in there that I just can't get out, and it just bothers me.
like a fuzz or something.
Eggnog is a Thanksgiving starter. Oh, okay. Okay. We can buy that. I only like certain eggnogs, and I do like the eggnog that has the peppermint in it and cinnamon. So I don't know if that's the
I think
kind
only
of
2 people in this house drink eggnog. Well, no, it'd be 3. Me, you, and Eric.
yeah, I will drink it on occasion. I'm not a big eggnog
Yeah, I'm not
person,
either because
but
it makes you congested.
yeah,
if you drink
so-
too much.
but with that being said, guys, thank you guys for supporting me and especially loving me through these crazy things that I've been going through lately. And we will be on again on Thursday. There's an occasion I'll probably do maybe a surprise show on. I still haven't done any lives on my TikTok channel, but my TikTok channel is growing. I think I'm at 14.
If you need support on there too.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well,
maybe maybe I'll have Gabriella do some lives on there with me. But I'm at I think like 1420 on there. I am trying to get as on now that I'm up past that point. I'm trying to get as either sponsored by Universal Yum so we can start doing those packages again and promote them or something, or Timu or something like that. But I'll keep you guys updated if we come into. But since that channel seems to be growing pretty fast, even though I really haven't posted any lives, I might go that route too. But thank you guys for joining tonight. I love all of you guys. Again, please don't worry about me. I am strong in that aspect. I would never do anything stupid. And plus, I have my family to make sure I don't do anything stupid. And it's just that I do get to the point where I'm almost at where I feel like I can't even fight anymore. So, but you guys are all wonderful and support me. And I love you guys. So, with that being said, we're going to say we'll see you next time on the other side. Bye, guys. Love you.
Hi guys.
You guys are wonderful. Thank all of you. Bye.